So, about 6 months ago, people started getting in contact with us saying, I've seen your social media, I've seen, that you're doing Welsh Spaniels, do you have any studs, anything you can do to help us? And in the last 3 months, I have had 6 serious conversations, telephone conversations with people who were interested in using one of our dogs for stud. I told them all the same thing. I said we have 3 lines that are available for public stud. They're all got different backgrounds. I said they're all DNA tested. In fact, all our lines are DNA tested, whether they are UK or we've brought them in from abroad. And I said what we're looking for in girls, we're looking for, first of all, KC registered. We're looking for full eye test to give us a score of 0 or 1. Hips, we're looking for around the breed average or below. And obviously we want the 3 DNA tests done. So all these 6 people that we spoke to obviously didn't have the tests done. So I said to them, if you go off and get the tests done, come back to me with the results. We can have a chat about what the results are and we can then take things from there. So to date, I have had 3 back, not out of the 6. Out of those 3, 2 of them have carrier conditions in their DNA tests. DCM and factor 7 are the 2 carrier conditions that we've got for the diseases. Now it's only a small sample, I understand. It's a total of 6, so it's either 1 in 3 dogs has a problem, or 2 out of 3, whichever you take, either the 3 or the 6. I know it's a small sample, but it is random, and that gives it some credibility. Now I'm not prepared to talk any further about these dogs or their owners because that was a private conversation that we've had, and it's not for me to bring that into the public domain. However, during the process when we were testing our dogs, we had a dog that comes from a UK line that we tested, and it came back as a carrier for factor 7 deficiency. Now, because that's our dog, I'm quite happy to put this information out there so that it can help to show what I'm talking about. I guess it goes to show credibility. I'm not just spouting I've got a dog with a problem. So this dog is from a Glenbrowse breeding. It's got a Glenbrowse mother and a Glenbrowse father. I will put a copy of the dog's pedigree in the comments so you can see obviously parents, grandparents and so on, look down, see where it's from. Before some of you who decide to jump on your soapboxes and start going Glenbrowse, this might not be a Glenbrowse problem. Glenbrowse, granted, one of those 2 parents are at least a carrier for factor 7 to be able to make a carrier in their litter. There could be an affected, there could be 2 carriers, there could be anything in there. But at very, very least, at least one of them is a carrier. But it certainly hasn't just started with those dogs. Very, very, very unlikely. What has probably happened, it could have started 2 generations back, or it could have started 20 generations back. And if you have ever studied into the Glenbrowse line, it could be your stud into their line that has brought the problem into the Glenbrowse. If you have ever had the Glenbrowse line use one of your puppies, they bought a puppy from you and used it to put it into their breeding program, then it could have been you that's brought it into the Glenbrowse line. The fact is, we don't know. It could be any dog on that pedigree. It could be off the pedigree to the left or with the mother, to the right with the father, or even further back than the 5 generations go. We don't know. The one thing we do know is it is alive and well and kicking in the Welsh Springer Spaniel breed. Now, I would say that my opinion is that if you have a dog that is even remotely connected to any one of these dogs on this pedigree, or any one of the bloodlines on this pedigree, even remotely, and you are thinking of breeding your dog, you need to get them tested for the 3 conditions. Failure to do so is like playing Russian roulette with your dogs, with your bloodlines, with your puppies that you produce, and just as importantly, with the emotions of the people who are buying those puppies. If you are somebody who has got a dog and you're not planning to breed it, but you're in the process of maybe needing an operation done on your dog, then can I suggest that you either A, go and get a factor 7 test done to show whether you have got obviously anything in your dog. If you can't get that done, then may I suggest that you go to your vet and talk about getting a PT or an APPT test That is a blood clotting test. It won't tell you whether you have factor 7 or not. What it will tell you is whether you have a blood clotting problem. And obviously, if you don't have a blood clotting problem, then your vet will tell you that you're probably safe to do the operation. But it won't tell you whether you have factor 7 in your dog at all. If you are somebody who is thinking of buying a Welsh Spaniel, my advice would be, do not buy a Welsh Spaniel off any breeder unless they test both mother and father and will show you those test results. Because you could just be buying a dog with health problems that you can do nothing about. This isn't a Glen Browse problem. This is a Welsh Springer Spaniel problem. If the test results that I've seen, the carrier statuses that I've seen, is anything like the representation within the population of the dogs, then this thing could jump out of control super quick. It is a small sample, and again, I hope I'm wrong, but I may not be. Now, you've got two choices. You can either decide to poo-poo what I'm saying and carry on with your perspective that I shouldn't be breeding Welsh Spaniels, or you can decide that you want to do something positive for the breed. If you want to carry on with your old perspective of, sticking your head in the sand, fine. I haven't got a problem with that. You're the ones who'll have problems coming your ways if it does, or if it is as bad as I think it might be. It won't affect us because all our dogs are tested. We have multiple lines that we can breed in and out of. So we won't get these problems. It'll be you guys that'll have problems. I'm just pointing out what might be an obvious fact to some other people. For the rest of you, if you've seen this video and think, yeah, it might be time to start testing and you want to help with what we're trying to do, the 3 objectives we set ourselves at the beginning were very big objectives and we're never going to do them by ourselves. We're going to obviously need help from other people. So if you feel you can help in any way at all to improve the breed, improve the popularity of the breed, improve the health of the breed, please feel free to get in touch. And if you're looking for stud, just come and talk to us and see what we can do to help. I say we are all about the breed. No matter what some of you might think, it is all about the breed for us. I'm sorry if this has upset some of you. If you are also somebody who's got a dog as a pet and is feeling a bit concerned or not knowing which way to turn, then please get in touch. If I can help you, I will do.